Right now, in the most critical geopolitical choke point on planet Earth, the absolute worst case scenario is unfolding in real time. We are talking about the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow 21-mile stretch of water that serves as the absolute jugular vein of the entire global energy market. And right now, it is quite literally on fire. Within the last few hours, 3 separate massive commercial ships have been absolutely hammered by unknown projectiles. We are not talking about warning shots across the bow. We are talking about direct, devastating kinetic impacts. One of these ships is actively burning right now as we speak. Let me break down exactly what is sitting in the crosshairs. We have a massive Thai bulk carrier that is currently engulfed in flames, and the images leaking out are absolutely terrifying. We have a Japanese container ship that has been directly struck, and we have a Marshall Islands bulk tanker that has been violently tagged as well. 3 international ships carrying billions of dollars of global economic lifeblood struck down in the waters of the Strait of Hormuz and the wider Persian Gulf. If you are paying attention, this screams one very specific thing. This is the Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, exacting their desperate violent payback. They have been taking a non-stop unprecedented pounding from the United States military over the last week, and now they are taking the gloves off. They are cornered, they are bleeding, and they are trying to drag the entire global economy down with them. But if Iran thought this was going to make America back off, they have profoundly miscalculated. Because what is coming next is a level of technological and military devastation that the world has never seen before. In this video, we are going to dive deep into the completely unprecedented American retaliation. We are going to look at the exact numbers of ships, drones, and missile sites that have been wiped off the map in Operation Epic Fury. We are going to look at the stunning footage of an F-16 dogfighting a drone over the skies of Dubai. And if you stay to the very end of this video, we are going to break down the mind-blowing sci-fi military technology from underwater drones to high-powered microwave lasers that the US is about to deploy to create an impenetrable blue dome over the Middle East. Hit that subscribe button right now because the situation in the Persian Gulf is escalating by the hour, and you need to know exactly what is happening. Let us get into it. To understand the sheer gravity of what is happening on the water right now, you have to understand the warnings that were issued just days prior. The United States administration sent a massive, blindingly clear warning directly to Tehran. The message was simple. If you dare to strike commercial shipping, and if you dare to threaten the global energy supply flowing through the straits, you will not just be hit back. You will be hit 20 times harder than you have ever been hit before. President Donald Trump immediately took to Truth Social to lay down the absolute red line. He posted a blunt, terrifying message to the Iranian regime. If for any reason mines were placed and they are not removed forthwith, the military consequences to Iran will be at a level never seen before. He did not stop there. Just hours later, Trump posted another update that sent shockwaves through the military community. He announced, "I am pleased to report that within the last few hours, we have hit and completely destroyed 10 inactive mine-laying boats and/or ships with more to follow." Let that sink in. The United States is not waiting for these ships to deploy their deadly cargo. They are aggressively hunting them down in their ports and annihilating them before they can even turn their engines on. Obviously, the Iranian Navy is currently being completely and utterly decimated. We are talking about upwards of 50 plus major ships being directly hit. But the real nightmare scenario, the thing that keeps naval commanders awake at night, is the threat of naval mines in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran knows they cannot defeat the United States Navy in a head-to-head conventional naval battle. That would be suicide, so they are reverting to classic dirty asymmetric warfare. They are trying to shut down that strait by any means necessary, turning it into a deadly minefield to freeze global shipping in its tracks. And the chaos is not just restricted to the water, it is filling the skies. Just look at the absolutely insane footage coming out of Dubai. We have crystal clear video of an American F-16 fighter jet operating directly over the city, engaging in a high-stakes interception of an Iranian Shahed drone. This Shahed suicide drone looked like it was actively zeroing in on some sort of civilian target. The F-16 pilot expertly rolls in right behind the drone, locks on, and looks to launch an AIM-9 Sidewinder missile, violently striking the drone down before it could massacre innocent people. This is just one single snapshot showing exactly how wild and unhinged it is getting in the Persian Gulf. Iran has officially taken the gloves off. They want to completely choke off global oil shipping right now. They have essentially declared the Strait of Hormuz closed. But the American military has a very different plan. While Iran is trying to cause chaos with drones and cheap missiles, the United States is responding with a massive historic win for American air power. We are talking about an operation so vast and so punishing that it will be studied in military academies for the next 50 years. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth just stepped up to the podium and dropped some absolutely staggering numbers. He officially called yesterday the single most intense day of strikes inside Iranian territory. He stated that March 10th saw the highest numbers of advanced fighter jets, the highest numbers of heavy payload bombers, and the absolute maximum deployment of precision intelligence assets ever unleashed on different targets in this conflict. The numbers are hard to even wrap your head around. The United States military has now officially dropped munitions on 5,500 individual targets in just 10 days. Let me repeat that. 5,500 targets wiped off the map in less than 2 weeks. We just got a massive breaking intelligence dump directly from US Central Command, delivered by Admiral Cooper, and the details are absolutely breathtaking. He stated plainly that the overarching mission is eliminating Iran's ability to project power against Americans and against its neighbors. Admiral Cooper confirmed that every single day the US is striking relentlessly at Iranian ballistic missile facilities and drone manufacturing plants. Out of those 5,500 targets, they have completely eliminated more than 60 Iranian ships using a variety of highly advanced precision weapon systems. He revealed that just yesterday, the US military executed rolling strike waves nearly every single hour. Imagine that. Every 60 minutes, a new wave of American fighters and bombers approaching from completely different locations and different directions, penetrating Iranian airspace and delivering absolute devastation. And here is the absolute crown jewel of this naval campaign. The United States military just officially took out the last of the 4 Soleimani-class warships. This means an entire highly touted class of Iranian naval warships has been completely erased from the board. They are out of the fight forever. Admiral Cooper characterized these American strikes with 3 words: unpredictable, dynamic, and decisive, and the results speak for themselves. Since the very first 24 hours of this punishing campaign, Iranian ballistic missile launches and drone swarm attacks have dropped drastically. They simply do not have the hardware left to launch them. But here is where the absolute cowardice of the Iranian regime comes into play. As their military apparatus collapses, the IRGC is actively choosing to deliberately target innocent civilians in neighboring Gulf countries. Worse still, they are hiding like cowards behind their own civilian population. They are intentionally launching their remaining desperate attacks from highly populated, dense urban cities inside Iran, hoping that the United States will cause civilian casualties that they can use for propaganda. But Operation Epic Fury is not just about playing defense against incoming Iranian threats. It is a methodical, clinical dismantling of their entire war machine. The US is hitting the missiles and drones on the launch pads, but they are also striking deep into the heart of the Iranian defense industrial base. Just last night, a massive American bomber force penetrated deep into the heart of the Iranian defense industrial base, country, and absolutely leveled a large ballistic missile manufacturing facility. This is not just about stopping the missiles shooting at our ships today. It is about permanently eliminating the threat for the future. If you want to see exactly what American precision looks like, you have to look at the satellite imagery coming out of the Iranian naval ports. CENTCOM just declassified a series of before and after photos that are absolutely mind-blowing. In the first image, you see a sprawling Iranian naval dock at the Chabahar port in the Gulf of Oman. It was taken the day before Operation Epic Fury launched. You can clearly see an Iranian Jamaran-class warship, a massive patrol ship, a dedicated drone smuggling vessel, and 4 other heavily armed surface combatants sitting proudly at the pier. Then CENTCOM shows the exact same pier just 4 days later. Every single ship is completely taken out of action. They are smoking, ruined hulks of twisted metal. In another photo, a massive Bayandar-class surface ship has been hit so hard it is completely rolled over on its side, slowly sinking into the harbor. In another incredibly stark example, satellite intelligence shows 2 Iranian surface combatants docked at a highly secure naval base right near the Strait of Hormuz just hours into the air campaign. 3 days later, both ships are completely engulfed in massive flames after being struck dead center with advanced precision weapons. For years and years, the Iranian regime has arrogantly threatened international commercial shipping and harassed United States naval forces in international waters. Their time is officially up. The stated mission of the US military right now is to permanently end their ability to project power and harass shipping in the Strait. To achieve this, the US has achieved a total concentration of air power. We are seeing back-to-back relentless waves of the most advanced fighter jets on the planet, creating constant suffocating pressure on the enemy every single day. The strike footage being released is incredible. It shows massive ballistic missile systems being targeted. It shows the launchers being blown to pieces. It shows heavily armored mobile launchers being tracked and vaporized. Honestly, you have to have some real cojones at this point to be the guy ordered to drive one of these Iranian ballistic missile trucks out into the open. Because the second you leave your bunker, an American satellite sees you, a drone tracks you, and an F-35 ruins your day. It is not going to go well for you. And speaking of fighters, the sheer volume of advanced aircraft the US has pushed into the region is staggering. We are talking about F-22 Raptors, F-18 Super Hornets, F-35 Lightning IIs, and F-16 Fighting Falcons. They are establishing a massive overwhelming presence to hunt down the real nuisance of the Iranian Navy, their fast attack vessels. The IRGC knows their big ships are sitting ducks, so they rely on hundreds, possibly thousands of small, highly maneuverable fast attack boats. They load these tiny boats up with high explosives. Sometimes they put suicide drivers in them, sometimes they rig them to be remote controlled. Then they swarm out like angry little ants, trying to ram into massive billion-dollar commercial oil tankers. To control the Strait of Hormuz, you absolutely must control these swarms. That is why the sky is currently buzzing with American fighter jets. They are running strafing runs on these tiny boats, blowing them out of the water before they can even reach the shipping lanes. It is going to be a lengthy, exhausting campaign to hunt down every last one of these fast attack craft, but the US is building an absolute dome of air superiority over the strait to ensure commercial shipping survives. So how is the Iranian leadership responding to the fact that their entire military is being systematically disassembled piece by piece? They are responding with absolute, unhinged delusion. The playbook is classic asymmetric warfare, but their rhetoric has gone completely off the deep end. The president of Iran recently went on state television and bizarrely claimed that this entire conflict is a matter of survival against Zionist American imperialism. The top commander of the IRGC stood up and boldly threatened that he would take the fight directly to the heart of the enemy forces, even as his own headquarters are being bombed into dust. The Iranian Foreign Ministry has the absolute audacity to call the US blockade of their weapon shipments economic terrorism, completely ignoring the fact that they are the ones currently setting innocent international cargo ships on fire, and the new supreme leader is publicly stating that they will never bow, and that they will achieve total victory through the power of faith. Well guys, the faith strategy has not worked out too good for you so far, but good luck with that. A senior IRGC advisor recently drew a line in the sand, officially stating to the world that the Strait of Hormuz is closed. They boasted that if anyone tries to pass, the heroes of the Revolutionary Guards and their regular navy will set those ships ablaze. They managed to tag 3 ships, and they consider that a massive strategic victory. They truly believe they can tag hundreds of ships. They are going down with the ship, and the IRGC is doing everything they possibly can in their last remaining weeks of existence to cause as much global pain as possible to force a ceasefire. But they are bringing a knife to a massive, hyper-advanced gunfight. The technological edge that the US possesses is almost unfair. Just look at the bomber runs. We are seeing B-1 Lancers and the legendary B-52 Stratofortresses flying directly from US bases, dropping hundreds of munitions on different sites. These heavy bombers are loaded with precision JDAM's Joint Direct Attack munitions. The tactics here are a flawlessly executed, multi-axis symphony of destruction. First, the bombers overwhelm the Iranian air defenses from miles away using highly advanced standoff weapons. They completely blind and cripple the radar sites. Then once the door is kicked open, they fly directly over the targets and drop their stand-in weapons, the heavy JDAMs, directly onto the high-value targets. They hit the missile sites, they level the naval yards, they destroy the industrial nodes. The American flight crews are executing this flawlessly, using highly refined intelligence to ensure maximum destruction with minimal collateral damage where possible. It is incredibly hard to minimize civilian casualties when the cowards in the IRGC are purposely putting their headquarters near hospitals and schools, but the surgical precision of the American strikes is unmatched. They destroyed 16 mine-laying ships with absolute surgical precision, likely using Tomahawk cruise missiles or air-launched standoff weapons from those heavy bombers. This is the very definition of American air power dominance. Superior sensors, stealth technology, pinpoint precision, and a sheer overwhelming volume of fire that simply crushes anything Iran tries to throw up into the sky. So where do we go from here? This leads us right into the 4D chess strategic analysis section of the video. Because Iran actually striking these commercial ships is a major escalation, and the US is not going to just sit back and watch. The US administration explicitly said that if Iran hit commercial shipping, they would be hit 20 times harder. So what happens next? First, expect the top-tier Iranian leadership to be targeted relentlessly. Expect a massive continuous carpet bombing campaign along the entire Iranian coastline. The US is going to send B-1 SARs and B-52s to completely obliterate any austere hidden locations where Iran might be storing drones or fast boats. The unsung hero of this next phase is going to be ISR, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. The US is going to park massive Global Hawk drones high up in the stratosphere, staring down at massive swaths of Iranian territory. They will monitor every single inch of the coastline, instantly determining exactly where these drone hideouts and anti-ship missile batteries are located. The second an IRGC fighter opens a bunker door, a JDAM will be dropping on his head. But the real game changer is how the US is going to physically protect the massive oil tankers moving through the water. They are going to establish what military insiders are calling the Blue Dome. The US Navy is preparing to deploy cutting-edge high-powered microwave technology and advanced directed energy weapons, literally military-grade lasers, mounted on naval assets right near the straits. These systems are designed to instantly fry the electronics of incoming suicide drones or burn them right out of the sky for pennies on the dollar compared to firing a $2 million missile. They are essentially creating a highly advanced, impenetrable mini Iron Dome directly over the Strait of Hormuz. Once this blue dome is active, ship captains will be able to navigate that 21-mile choke point with total confidence. They just want to sit on the bridge, sip their coffee, and safely deliver their $15 billion of crude oil to the next port without worrying about an Iranian suicide drone ruining their day. But the US is not just protecting the sky, they are taking back the depths of the ocean. Enter the Lockheed Martin Lamprey. The Lamprey is a highly classified, incredibly advanced underwater drone, essentially a robotic undersea leech. The US military is likely deploying dozens, if not hundreds, of these autonomous underwater vehicles directly into the Strait of Hormuz. Their entire mission is to silently patrol beneath the waves, using advanced sonar to dial in and zero in on any naval mines that Iran may have secretly laid. But they do not just hunt mines. The Lamprey drones are designed to hunt down the Iranian mine-laying boats and track the fast attack craft from below the surface. Because remember, those IRGC boats are like little ants, hiding in coves and inlets. Waiting to strike, the Lampreys will find them, track them, and neutralize the threat from below. When you combine the blinding laser defense of the blue dome covering the sky, and the silent robotic hunting capabilities of the Lamprey drones securing the water below, the United States is about to completely permanently reopen the Strait of Hormuz. This is going to completely break the back of the IRGC. When they realize that their ultimate trump card, closing the strait, has been totally neutralized by superior American technology, the internal pressure on the regime is going to skyrocket. This could very well lead to a total fracture of the Iranian government. The top leaders might be too brainwashed by the new Ayatollah's rhetoric to surrender, but the mid-level commanders inside the IRGC are going to crack under the absolute pressure of being hunted 24/7. Over the next few days, we are going to see this conflict ramp up to a fever pitch. It is going to be a hard-fought, violent battle to secure the lifeblood of the global economy.